Fuji, Okashani Master, Babashani Master, Emo, Okana Shaloka Didon. Hello,
Good afternoon. This is news around the world on Pensioners 106.7 FM at Barigo, Uniwike, Ibadan. I am Babafemi Obidei. First, the top stories. Buhari condemns gunmen attack on Mangu local government in Plateau State. Khalifa Haftar rejects call for ceasefire by Turkey and Russia. Mike Pompeo fingered as force behind President Donald Trump's decision to kill Qasem Soleimani. And in sports, Tottenham moves swiftly to snap up a replacement for Harry Kane. Now the news in full. President Muhammadu Buhari has condemned in strong terms gunmen attack on Mangu local government in Plateau State. A statement by presidential spokesman Garba Shehu in Abuja stated that the president was in contact with the governor Simon Lalong and the military, police and other security agencies in the state to ascertain what happened and what could be done to forestall a recurrence. The statement said the president, Buhari, was shocked and aggrieved by increased vigilance to stop further attacks on innocent communities. A former lawmaker representing Kaduna Central Senatorial District, Senator Shehu Sani, has accused the federal government of attempting to silence him over his criticism of the regime led by the president using fronts. Sani alleged the government is, through the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, using his accuser to frame him in the extortion scandal. Operatives of the EFCC has searched 2 houses and an office of the embattled Senator Shehu Sani in Abuja, an action which was part of the ongoing probe of the former lawmaker for the alleged extortion of $24,000 from the chairman of ASD Motors, Alhaji Sani Dauda. Dauda had also, in his petition to the EFCC, claimed that the former senator demanded 4 million naira from him to give to the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Tanko Muhammad, and other 4 judges to influence some pending cases in court. $133 vehicles to complement federal government's effort in tackling insecurity in southwest states of Nigeria under the Amotekun scheme have been launched in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. Speaking at the launch of vehicles tagged Amotekun at the governor's office, Ibadan, governors of the Southwest in separate speeches said the security outfit was not to compete with Nigeria's police force, but to provide security for the people of the region. Speaking at the event, the chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum and governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, said the constitutional provision to protect lives and property of the citizenry informed the decisions to employ the security outfit.
I am extremely delighted to be here on this historic occasion of the launch of the Western Nigeria Security Network. And the Western Nigeria Security Network, Amotekun, is nothing but a community policing response to a problem that our people would like to see the back of. Amotekun is not a duplication, neither is Amotekun a replacement for the Nigerian police force.
Ondo State Governor, who is also the chairman of Southwest Governors, Rotimi Akeredolu, said Amotekun was not regional police, has been insinuated in some quarters, maintaining that the outfit would not be used for political gains. His counterpart from Osun State, Mr. Gboyega Oyetola, represented by the Deputy Governor, Mr. Benedict Alabi, while emphasizing that the initiative would have positive impact on the region, urged the people to give necessary support to the security personnel. Ooni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, lauded the governors for shunning political differences by coming up with such an initiative, while he said it will be beneficial to the entire Southwest region and Nigeria at large. Earlier, Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State had noted the investment opportunities and growing internally generated revenue could not thrive in an atmosphere of insecurity, hence the introduction of the Amotekun initiative to further enhance security in the region. Local security personnel, Agbekoyas, hunters, vigilante groups, men of the Oodua People's Congress, community leaders and traditional rulers were part of the event. Our correspondent, Florence Akintola, reports that the red vehicles had inscription of Southwestern Security Outfit and picture of a leopard. This is Pensioners 106.7 FM. Let's now talk pension stories around the world. Judge Galloway has predicted that Emmanuel Macron would soon be history as the French president struggles to hold onto power amid record-breaking protests against his rule. The record-breaking protests taken to the streets of France could soon overturn Emmanuel Macron amid growing fury at the French president. Former Member of Parliament Judge Galloway made the shocking prediction, remarking that the ongoing protests were far more serious than the Yellow Vest protests that have dominated the country for the past year. The French unions are on the streets of Paris and other cities and towns across the country, upset at Macron's planned pension reforms. You're still tuned to Pensions 106.7 FM Ibadan. Now to other stories. Eastern Libyan military commander Khalifa Haftar has rejected calls for a ceasefire by Turkey and Russia and announced a continuation of his military operations. In a statement by his spokesman, Ahmad al-Mesmari, Haftar claimed a comeback of the political process and that the country's stability could only be assured by total wipe-off of terrorist groups and a dissolution of the militia controlling the capital, Tripoli. Haftar's forces launched an offensive against the seat of the United Nations recognized Government of National Accord, GNA, in Tripoli. The Turkish and Russian presidents suggested a ceasefire in Libya by January 12, following a meeting in Istanbul, and the UN's recognized GNA welcomed the ceasefire call. According to the UN, more than 1,000 people have been killed since the commencement of Haftar's military operations and at least 5,000 others wounded. The United States of America's Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, has been fingered as a force behind President Donald Trump's decision to kill a top Iranian general, Qasem Soleimani. The move, according to report, demonstrates Pompeo's status as the most influential national security official in the Trump administration. Taking Iranian General Qasem Soleimani off the battlefield has been a goal of the top U.S. diplomat for a decade, targeting Iran's second most powerful official, the leader of the Revolutionary Guard Quds Forces, the politically and economically powerful military group with regional clout, was Pompeo's idea. Pompeo, the Secretary of State, has believed throughout his career that Iran is the root of all the Middle East's problems and has focused on Soleimani, Iran's shadow commander, as the mastermind behind the country's state-sponsored terrorism throughout the region. Western leaders say evidence suggests that an Iranian missile that brought down a Ukrainian passenger plane near Tehran was possibly done erroneously. A full and thorough investigation into the crash, which killed all 176 passengers on board, has been called for by the Canadian and United Kingdom leaders. Meanwhile, Iran has ruled out a missile strike by its air defenses. The crash came just hours after Iran carried out missile strikes on the two air bases housing U.S. forces in Iraq. United States media have speculated that the timing of the crash suggests that the plane may have been mistaken for a U.S. warplane targeted by Iran, planning possible U.S. retaliation for the strikes. An Australian town has spent the night closed off by bushfires as evaporative weather raises up the most significant threat for almost a week. Prime Minister Scott Morrison warned that Friday would be a difficult day in the eastern states amidst heat, strong winds and dry lightning forecasts. In South Australia, one town on Kangaroo Island faced an abrupt threat as unpredictable winds expanded the blaze, which set aside Kingscourt, the island's biggest town, from roads. Some residents, according to report, spent the night sleeping close to the water edges, while in parts of Victoria and New South Wales, people have been urged to leave their homes to avoid tragedy. Since September, at least 27 people have reportedly died in the bushfires, destroying more than 10.3 million hectares nationally. A new study says a third of adults in Hong Kong are reported to have post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD) syndromes during the often violent pro-democracy protests. According to the University of Hong Kong, the number was 6 times higher than what was obtained 4 years ago, as the levels of depression are reportedly comparable to those in conflict zones. Hong Kong's protests was said to have begun last June because of a controversial bill that would have licensed the extradition of suspects to mainland China. The bill, which was later withdrawn, was followed by demonstrations that have evolved into a broader movement demanding investigations into police brutality and democratic reforms. Hong Kong officials have been urged to improve the city's mental health provision. A newly released government data says in 2018, rape occurred every 15 minutes in India, which underlines its dismal reputation as one of the worst places in the world to be female. 10,000 women in New Delhi in 2012 lined up on the streets across India to protest against the highly publicized gang rape and murder of a woman in a bus, demanding action from film stars and politicians. According to the annual crime report released by the Ministry of Home Affairs, women reported among almost 34,000 rapes in 2018, barely better than the year before, and just over 85% led to charges and 27% to convictions. Women's rights groups say crimes against women are often taken lightly and investigated by police lacking in sensitivity. You're on to Pensioners 106.7 FM Ibadan. We will be back with some entertainment and sports stories. Prince Harry's wife, Meghan, has returned to Canada following the couple's bombshell announcement that they were quitting their frontline royal duties. It is confirmed, according to reports, that the Duchess is in Canada to rejoin with her baby son, Archie. Meanwhile, Oprah Winfrey has washed her hand over the rumors that she was behind Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's royal family split decision. Winfrey, the media mogul, has come out to blatantly deny that she advised the Duke and Duchess to step back as senior members of the royal family, saying the duo don't need her help to make any personal decisions. Recall that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are understood to have left Archie in Canada after their 6 weeks trip, and their 8-month-old Archie is being cared for by their nanny and Meghan's best friend, Jessica Moronoi. It is goal time as the January transfer window is open. Premier League side Tottenham have moved swiftly to snap up a replacement for the injured Harry Kane by securing the services of AC Milan striker Krzysztof Piątek. In a £28 million deal, Spurs had been left short on firepower following nasty injuries to England's Kane and Lucas Moura that will keep the pair out until at least April, while Piątek has fallen down the pecking order at the San Siro following the return of Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Jose Mourinho's side has beaten off competition from fellow Premier League sides Aston Villa, Newcastle and Crystal Palace for the Polish striker, who is expected to sign a 3.5-year deal with the North London club within the next 48 hours. 24-year-old Piątek has struck 4 times in Serie A this campaign following a £30 million switch to the Rossoneri from Genoa last year. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is facing a full-blown defensive crisis after Harry Maguire joined the list of the walking wounded as Manchester United desperately search for consistency in a topsy-turvy season. The England centre-half joins Axel Tuanzebe, Eric Bailly and Marcus Rowe as unavailable central defenders for Saturday's Premier League match against basement club Norwich. Left-back Luke Shaw is also a doubt, while Solskjaer's decision to allow another international centre-back, Chris Smalling, to move to Roma on a season-long loan now looks seriously flawed. Solskjaer has taken the precaution of recalling Cameron Borthwick-Jackson from a loan spell with League One side Tranmere. The manager's problems at the back are compounded by the fact that 2 of his first-choice military players, Paul Pogba and Scott McTominay, are also facing extended spells on the sidelines. To end news around the world on Pensioners 106.7 FM, here again is a recap of the top stories. President Muhammadu Buhari has condemned gunmen attack on Mangu local government area in Plateau State. Eastern Libyan military commander Khalifa Haftar has rejected calls for a ceasefire by Turkey and Russia. United States Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has been fingered as a force behind President Donald Trump's decision to kill Qasem Soleimani. And in sports, we brought to you that Tottenham has made a swift move to snap up a replacement for Harry Kane in Krzysztof Piątek. For any information, contact us on these mobile numbers 081-200-86270 or 081-218-89462 or visit us at your State Pensioners House at Barigo Onireke Ibadan. The news editor is Omobolaji Akintola. On behalf of the production crew, I am Babafemi Obideyi. Good afternoon.
Pensioners FM. This is Africa's model.
The time is 19 minutes gone past 1 from Pensioners 106.7 FM at Barigo Onireke in Ibadan. Yeah, and right about now, it is time to bring the program, your security program, to your listening pleasure. It's time for Security Lens with Fumilayo Akoni here on Pensioners 106.7 FM. Don't go anywhere.
The security of lives and properties has become the responsibility of all and sundry. Do not connive with criminals or engage in any criminal activities. Report suspicious movement of any kind in your domain to the rightful authorities. If not, you can be the next victim. Be security conscious always. Develop an eagle eye to whalers that poses a